Imagine you're at a party when someone steps on your foot. You turn to that person, angry, ready to blame them, when they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, someone pushed me." Instantly, your face relaxes and you release the blame that you are holding towards that person, because you can't blame someone for something that's outside of their control. In the philosophy world, this idea is often called the control principle, and what I want to do is apply this principle to juvenile violent crimes. This is my attempt at relieving the juveniles of some of our blame and thus some of the harsh punishments that we put upon them. After 2 years leading creative arts workshops in juvenile facilities, I started to notice a pattern in the lives of these juveniles. How come so many of them had experienced violence or lost loved ones to violence? Why did so many of them grow up in poverty? And why were these bright artists committing crimes? The push factors that are in the lives of these juveniles exist before and during their violent crimes. Before include characteristics of the individual, such as how mature her decision-making process is, or her temperament or tendencies. Push factors that surround her previous experiences include exposure to violence in the street and in the home, and also what an individual has learned is good or necessary. Is violence necessary for survival, or is it bad? Many studies show that chronic exposure to community violence can lead to PTSD, aggression, and a normalized thinking around violence. In terms of bad luck during an action, being in the place to commit a crime may also be out of an offender's control. If someone threatens your safety, or if a respected friend or family member asks you to back them up in a violent way, a kid is more likely to act violently, although neither circumstance is really under her control. By noticing a significant amount of unlucky factors that influence juvenile crime, we can recognize the need to reform our heavy punishment mentality in juvenile courts and in the juvenile facilities. I'll be using the philosophy around control and the psychology around juvenile violence to make the case that we need to reform juvenile facilities into rehabilitation centers that are focused on positive experience, learning about peaceful opportunities, community engagement, and restorative justice. This will help juveniles understand their own emotions and stories and lower their chances at reoffending, and this will better serve the juveniles and our society as a whole.